You ever notice how the prettiest and most magnetic women are often the ones who stay to themselves? And it's not because they think that they're better. It's because they learned that peace usually costs them connection. At first, you're open, you're friendly, you lead with love because that's exactly who you are. But experiences teaches you something that being visible by society, being perceived as beautiful or soft or feminine, it comes with backlash. You smile and people assume that you're flirting. You stay quiet, then people call you cold. You post a selfie and people think that you're just full of yourself and they roll your eyes. Like, God forbid you appreciate your own beauty. So you begin to pull back, not loudly, not out of attitude, just one small adjustment at a time. You stop volunteering information about yourself. You stop trying to prove to the world that you are a good person. And you become careful with what you share because every single detail will become a story that someone else gets to write. And then one day you just look around and you realize that isolation was never a decision. It was a boundary that slowly became your lifestyle. Like, you still want people around, you still want connection. You just don't want to get hurt for existing peacefully and minding your business. So your absence becomes protection. And the quiet consequence is that others now feel the loss of the version of you that they might have taken for granted. There is a kind of loneliness that comes from constantly being misunderstood. You begin to scan every room for a threat instead of just being comfortable walking in. And you become so hyper aware of who's competing with you, who may be projecting onto you, and who in your circle is pretending to support you. Pretty girls don't isolate because they're weak. They isolate because they have recognized patterns. They have learned that sometimes the people who seem the closest are the first to minimize them, or even worse, resent them. Compliments will turn into comparisons so quickly that support that you thought that you had, yeah, it has an expiration date. And that will kick in the moment that you start to shine and evolve into the beautiful woman who you've always been. So you just learn to adapt and you stop oversharing. And even worse, you'll start to rehearse the way that you say things so you're not labeled as too confident or just being too much. And then you'll silently build routines that find comfort in your own company because your own company feels honest, it feels safe. And people call it being independent, but you know that it's armor. It's armor that has been formed every time that you were punished for simply being yourself. So here's the truth that no one likes to admit: isolation is not running away, it's choosing self respect over chaos, over being misunderstood. And the moment that you step back, people feel it. Your distance becomes the silent accountability that they never expected. Healing from isolation is not about forcing yourself to be social again. It's about remembering that you were never the problem. You were never too pretty to relate to. You were simply surrounded by people who did not know how to hold someone with a light like you. So now you move with wisdom. You choose people who have depth over just having a lot of people around you. And you let friendship be earned and not begged for. Your peace finally comes a priority and not something that you feel like you have to compromise on. And that's not you being arrogant. That's you finally having discernment that you really have needed for a very long time. You paid a price for your peace. Now you protect it like something sacred because it is. But even the strongest women need places where they can rest, spaces where you don't feel like you have to constantly over explain yourself, explain your heart, explain your intentions because you're perceived as being this beautiful, soft woman. You need a space where you can literally just show up as yourself and be seen because other women are just like you. And that is what we are building inside Pretty Girl Survival. This is where your softness can finally feel safe again, where your glow and your light and your gift of beauty is not questioned. This is where your heart is not misread. And this is where you realize that isolation was never your destiny. Now you know what to avoid so you can have better connections in your life. The Pretty Girl Survival group chat is not just another group chat, okay? It is literally a soft landing space for women who have been misunderstood, excluded, punished for literally just being themselves and existing and taking up space in a room. Inside, we talk all the time about friendship wounds, dating fatigue, learning how to exist without shrinking and feeling small. Girl, you name it, we talk about it. It is literally only $7 a month, but for the first 100 women, they'll be able to get in for $3 a month, and those spots are actually going fast. So come on in. So, babe, if you are ready for community, safe community, women who believe you and will support you and make you feel like you are a real human being, girl, join the Pretty Girl Survival Group chat because this kind of connection doesn't drain you, it heals. And as always, please, please, please protect your pretty.